Good morning or good afternoon to the members of PALBRAC. My name is Jamie, and throughout this presentation, I will be pitching Group 3's campaign strategy and execution. Allow me to introduce you to the team. Louis, myself, Samantha, Jordan, and Aldeline. The contents that will be discussed throughout this presentation will include the brief, the research we did, the insights derived from the research, our target market, the strategy, and finally, the campaign rollout. Starting with the brief. We were given an open brief to develop a strategy in order to communicate to our designated target audience, this being the public. This would involve brand awareness, the provided service, as well as the benefits of palliative care. Through conducting primary and secondary research, our group gained a better understanding of the topic and how we needed to communicate the task at hand. Our secondary research. Using the knowledge we gained from our primary research, we conducted secondary research which involved the foundation of what palliative care is, as well as the benefits of the service. Following this, we addressed the topic of ethics within the service, as well as some principles to consider when applying for and experiencing this type of care. To develop the findings from the primary research, additional research was done on patient recovery in different environments and locations. This allowed for an in-depth study of various phobias, such as nosocomophobia, the fear of doctors and hospitals, as well as first-hand stories of palliative care experiences. For our primary research, we created a set of 3 Instagram stories explaining to the viewers what palliative care is and what it entails. We then informed them that we were a group of students conducting research for a creative campaign regarding this topic. Participants were asked to share any experiences that they might have encountered, whether it was a personal, a family member, or a friend. Ensuring that all information would be kept confidential, a response from a medical student from the University of Cape Town was recorded regarding her current studies on pediatric palliative care. She provided us with an in-depth presentation communicating how important the care of an ill child is. These were the first set of Instagram stories that we posted to get some experience and thoughts on the topic. Subsequently, we created an anonymous survey to gain the public's perspective on palliative care, as well as their knowledge on this topic. From analyzing the first survey and using the knowledge given by the above-mentioned medical student, we created a second anonymous survey that focused on pediatric palliative care. The goal was to gain the public's view on the topic. Additional interviews were conducted with people who had ill members within their families. This is the second set of Instagram stories that we posted with the links attached to the surveys. Our key findings, starting with our primary research findings. Regarding the first survey, we obtained the following insights. 74.6% of participants preferred their recovery to take place at their own home as opposed to a hospital, a private medical center, or a family member's home. Nearly 90% of respondents would consider applying for a pediatric palliative caregiver if their child had to fall ill. This emphasizes the need and trust in the service. Regarding the previous insight, respondents added additional comments based off their answers, which stated their appreciation for additional help, extra support, and the strain relief on their friends and family. Regarding the second survey, we obtained the following insights. 61.1% of respondents were aware of what pediatric palliative care is. All respondents agreed that they would apply for a palliative caregiver if their child had to fall ill. 66.7% of respondents were unaware that pediatric palliative care also involves care for the family. This would mean that there is an unclear message of what palliative care entails, which we can use to our advantage when concluding insights to create a campaign. 94.4% of respondents believed that the child would receive an overall better care at their own home with the help of a palliative caregiver. This statistic strengthened the theory that patients recover better at home. When you are at home, you are surrounded by your family, your memories, and a familiar place, which concludes that home is seen as a space of comfort and relaxation. As for the secondary research, we understood that family members of patients who stayed at home felt that they could empathize more with their family member, as well as build a stronger relationship. Children need to have a solid base of belonging, and home for that child would be the solid base. In a more basic sense, a child that battles with a serious illness needs a sense of clarity in the space that they are treated. Knowing their way around their home helps compensate, and being comfortable in their living space reduces stress and helps well-being. Symptom control is a priority for healthcare professionals, and this is much easier to do at home with the additional support structure. There are a lot of phobias revolving around the topic of being hospitalized. This, however, could be avoided if care is provided at home and can put the patient at ease. The summary of our insights. Overall, the theme of being comfortable and at ease at one's own home is evident within the primary and secondary research. The idea for a child to be cared for at home is desirable, as many families still need to juggle the responsibilities of caring for a child as well as their daily lives and jobs. This would create an additional appreciation for the service offered. Ultimately, parents of ill children need to be better informed about the possibilities and limitations of staying at home with the information readily available in doctors' offices, hospitals, and online. Our target market. Our primary target market would include families, parents, or guardians of ill children who wish to provide the best possible comfort for their child in terms of care within their home. Our secondary target market would include ill children below the age of 18 who wish to receive convenient care within the comfort of their home. The strategy. From our insights, it was discovered that the idea of a child that is cared for at home is desirable to many families. However, few understand the possibilities and limitations of this. Parents of ill children need to be better informed about the possibilities and limitations of stay-at-home care with the information readily available in doctors' offices, hospitals, and online. One of the many comforting aspects about palliative care is that care and support can be given from the convenience of one's own home. We all need a sense of belonging, being part of a family, obtaining a career path, and feeling loved. PalPrac palliative care from home can ensure that families will maintain those aspects of life, as well as ensuring the best possible care. Home is where the heal is. Our campaign would ultimately aim to create awareness surrounding the topic of palliative care and the possible opportunity of having access to the service within the comfort of one's own home. The campaign would also communicate how palliative carers support the notion of care within the minds of ill children, as well as their families. Our core message for the campaign. Having a palliative caregiver support ill children within their homes would ultimately create a more balanced sense of self, dismissing the factors of stress of a new environment and adaptation. Hence, we came up with the tagline, "Home is where the heal is." Finally, our campaign rollout and execution. An effective campaign rollout needs to be placed in a highly visible location. One of the busiest locations within a hospital are elevators, as they are constantly used to travel between different floors. From this finding, we decided to execute our concept within the walls of the elevators, as the public are confined within a space where they are urged to take in their surroundings. A lounge scene was used in each design, as a lounge acts as a communal space of gathering and where many family memories take place. Significant visuals of children and their toys are visible within each scene. Each design communicates a comfortable and cozy room scene where the viewer or the public is automatically placed within. As one enters the elevator, the strategy line is large and clear above a happy family setting. Home is where the heel is. This ultimately sets the tone for the expectations of the public before they step into the elevator. A brief description of PALPRAC, as well as the mission and objectives of the organization, are supplied on either the left or the right interiors. The contact details are also provided, which would allow the public to continue any research that they would like to find additionally. As for the Institute, finally, as the public is confined to a small space for a certain amount of time, they are supplied with the fundamental information to aid their understanding of the campaign. Overall, the purpose of placing our campaign within the Children's Hospital would be to create awareness to the parents that are rushing back and forth between hospitals and their homes. This would also allow them to have access to palliative health care within their home and awareness for this topic. Thank you very much and enjoy your day.